Welcome to FleetDesks ERP. Now I will explain you what is Daybook, how to use it, what are the functions. So basically Daybook is a module which is used to record any financial transaction in which one of the two parties is either cash or bank. Simple as that. So if you are making a transaction between two accounts and one of those accounts, it has to be cash or bank. Daybook is mostly used to record expenses which does not have any invoices or something, or a normal cash transactions. For example, if you are paying someone cash, if you are paying someone advance, or you are paying some, I will say, advances to some clients, or if you are receiving some payments in your account which is not related to some invoice or something, you can use this module for that. So the limitation it is one of the account, it has to be cash or bank. So here you will see the date. This is the date of transaction. So now the second option is the amount that you have to select. Let's say in our case the amount is 100, and now the remarks. So remarks is anything that you want to write for future references. Let's say I will write advance for fuel, and now as I told you, one of the accounts, it should be cash or bank nature account. So here you have two options, like one is transaction account and second one is the account title. So you can say this is the first party and this is the second party. This is how you can understand it. Transaction account, it has to be cash or bank. So if you open this drop down list, you will only see the option accounts. They are either cash or bank nature accounts. Now once you select this account, the next option is payment to and received from. If this commercial bank of Dubai, this is paying to who? To, let's say it's paying to cash. For example, I will change this to petty cash. So this transaction means like 1000 was withdrawn from the bank, and it was deposited into petty cash for petty cash reasons. So the money is moving from bank towards petty cash. If I make it opposite, now it means commercial bank of Dubai is receiving money from cash. It means you had cash in your hand and you deposited that cash into the bank account. So similarly, I can do, let's say, cash to one of the employees, for example here. Now this transaction means like the money is moving from cash to one of the employees. Similarly, you can change the remarks. You can use this for declaring expenses, any transactions that you can think of. But as an attachment, you can attach the proof of that transaction. But one thing that you will notice here, if you try to use Daybook for booking your expenses, that is not a very good approach, because here you will not be able to see any options to record VAT. So if in case you are making some transactions where VAT is not involved and it is an expense, feel free to book that expense using Daybook. But you will not be able to book any expense or bill which involves VAT. So that's Daybook. And you add one transaction and then you click on the plus button. Then you can add a second transaction, then you can add the add button again, and then you can save, and it will save all of those transactions all together. So if you just clear this now or go back, you have just added it into the list, you have not saved it. So this transaction will not save. This is one thing. Now the second thing which is important here is, so normally Daybook is provided to accountants or to record their day-to-day activities. For example, you have an accountant in your office and he is given 5,000 petty cash, and he can pay this to employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4, or for whatever reasons. So normally the problem happens is, if you give the open access for any employee to put any transaction in any account, then maybe he puts the transaction into the wrong account, and then your records, they will mess up. To solve this problem, we have an option to limit the accounts that you can see here. For example, here I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 accounts. The reason I can see these 6 accounts is I was given permissions to see these 6 accounts. You can simply go back, you can simply go to user management, and let's open it in a new tab. In user management, you will see the list of users that in your company, and here you will select the user for which you want to change the access. For example, in my case, I will select this user, click on this manage button, and here you have the option to select user accounts. For this user, these are all the available accounts in cash and bank nature in the system itself. But if I assign only one of those accounts like this, then in Daybook you can see only one account. If I select this one also, now you can see both. If you add this one also, then you can see three. So in a nutshell, once we create a new user in the system, by default he does not have access to any of these accounts. So in that case, once you will go there in Daybook, you will not be able to see any of these accounts. So before starting to use Daybook, first of all you have to assign the accounts to that user. After that you have to log out and log in again, and then the user, he will be able to see the accounts in this drop down. I hope you understand the concept of Daybook now. And before finishing this session, I will also explain to you how you can use Daybook feature, Daybook's Excel import, to bring multiple transactions in this listing by using Excel. So once we use Excel, those transactions, they will not be saved directly. Those transactions, they will be saved directly actually. So you click on this import button, and then you have an option to download the template. So to download the template, the template is actually here. So in the Daybook list. So click on the Daybook template and you will get an Excel sheet. So here you have following columns, that is date, amount, remarks, transaction account, type, and account title. So these are basically the same options which you can see here. So you have date, amount, remarks, transaction account, type, and account title. So for example, if I wanted to make a transaction on 15th of February, so let's say I will choose 14th of February, and the amount I want to select 2000, and I want to add, this is petty cash, and this is going from bank, let's say commercial bank, and here is the bank title, and then this is, sorry about that, this is petty cash, and this is 2000, and the date you have to select, let's say February 12, 15, 2024, 25, and this cash is from bank, it's moving to your petty cash here. And now I will remove these transactions. You see there is one option which is called type. So the type, it can be either C for credit, or it will be D for debit. So it's either C or D. How you can decide if it is C or D is you have to consider debits and credits for the first account. So in this case, the first account is Commercial Bank of Dubai. Money is moving from bank to petty cash. It means the transaction account, it's going to be credited. So in this case, here I will write C. And now from the petty cash account, let's say, so the first account, it will become automatically credit, and the second account will become automatically debit. You don't have to mention the second account transaction nature. So this nature you only have to mention for the first account. So now, for example, this money is moving from petty cash to one of the employees. So let's see who is the employee here. Let's say I will take this employee account, and now the money is moving from this account to this account. So the cash account, which is petty cash, it has to be credited. So I will select C again. And now again, let's say cash advance, and the amount is 1000. And now I will select the date again, and let's try with these two transactions. Import Excel, attach Excel, Daybook, and sorry about that. So this file, it's with the wrong extension, so we have to save it as a CSV. So go to file, save as. Don't save it as XLSX. This file, it should be MS-DOS, comma separated. Save. And now let's try CSV MS-DOS and import data. So see, once I click it, both transactions, they are imported here and they are not saved. You can see it in the list. Money is moving from this account to this account and from this account to this account. Similarly, you can add as many transactions as possible, as many transactions as you want in the Excel sheet, import them all together, and then at the end, just hit the save button. One thing important is, once you are importing, see, once you will save this transaction and this transaction, they will be saved as two separate and independent transactions. So if you want to attach any attachments here and here, you cannot import those transactions through Excel sheet. So the only option would be, you can either import the transactions one by one, or just like we did, upload the transactions here, make it save, then go back to Daybook. You will see your both transactions here. Add it again, add transaction, save it again. This way you will be able to add your I will say attachments here. So now let's go back and see in the Daybook option, you can see the new transaction reference ID, the date of transaction, the account which was used as a primary account, payment to or payment from, who was the receiver of the money, amount 1000, and description. If you have an attachment, you will be able to see this kind of a view button here, and this is Daybook. So to summarize, Daybooks, they are used to record flow of money from one account to another account. You can only use Daybook if one of the transaction account is cash or bank. Otherwise, you cannot do this transaction. You cannot use Daybook. I hope you understand the concept. If you have any further questions, you can drop a message or you can contact our team to get more information. Thank you.